And if we think of a business owner or someone trying to win business through LinkedIn, and they're maybe just ramping up their activity now, they're on a free account, is it worth their while upgrading to premium? Is it worth their while upgrading even further to Sales Navigator? What would be some of the pros and cons you would give to people in that respect?
It so depends. Again, I'm going to go back to my sort of raison d'etre right at the start of trying to match up business sort of needs to LinkedIn's tools, if you like. I think there's a huge amount we can do on the free one. I recognize that, and I'm a great fan, by the way, of Sales Navigator. I love it. I train a lot on it, and I think it's great in certain circumstances. But actually, if people could use all the functionality, or indeed 50% of the functionality on the free one, then I think they would go a long way to actually being able to do all they wanted to do on LinkedIn without necessarily paying any money. There are, however, as you so rightly say, differing levels. The main ones, I guess, that would differentiate between, although there is a job seeker one as well, but not a fan of that because I don't think it does masses, if I'm honest, though I'm prepared to be proven wrong on that. But there is a business premium. There is then the two specific, and there's a couple of levels of that, and then there's the specific one, Sales Navigator, for a sales professional, or at least aimed at that, and then there's the Recruiter one with Recruiter Lite, and then the full Recruiter system. In both of those cases, it is designed to try and give very specific requirements to the person using it. So on the free one, my main downside is that we are limited in the number of searches we can carry out in the course of a month. So the commercial use limit, which I'm sure you're familiar with, Tony, and that limits the number of things that we can, or the number of searches we can sort of put out there. LinkedIn doesn't tend to tell us how many. I think sort of commonly it's about 50 searches a month, something along those lines. If you start hitting that early in the month, then that's going to be a problem, because finding people in particular, which is the one that it particularly clamps down on, is going to be a problem. You get in-mails with it. I'm not a big fan of in-mails. I find them very intrusive. So for me, I seldom use them. Instead of asking someone, well, almost pitching, because we feel as though we're pitching, I tend to use the connection requests and put a message in there. So that is my starting the conversation rather than using an in-mail. So for me, that value is diminished. Who's looked at your profile? Well, yes, it's good, and I will always look, but if you look a couple of times a day, that will take away that benefit. And there is also all the stuff on the LinkedIn Learning. So if you're not going to use those bits, actually, I'm not sure it's that worthwhile. So for me, get to use the free one. Understand how the search works. We talked about that big room. Yeah, if we're looking for that sort of the old marketing thing of AIDA, so attention, interest, desire, and action. Well, actually, you can do all of those things with the free account. If you want the unlimited search, then the business premium is good. Sales Navigator is great because we're now going towards CRM. We're building up lists of companies or individuals that we're interested in. We can combine some of the company search and the people search together in one look. And as someone kindly mentioned earlier, we have the search alerts function as well, which means there's like a listening tool, almost just continually trawling through the search criteria that are going to be relevant to you in the background and then giving you the latest results. And that's a very powerful tool, so long as you then have a process and a system to follow up with. So it's a great tool, but for a lot of people it's going to be overkill, and you can actually do a lot of what you're hoping for on the free one. So that would be my rather long answer. Sorry about that.
Tools are only as good as the people whose hands they're in, Mark, I think is how I'd summarize your roundup there. Very good, thank you.